Hello and welcome to Bleeping Fun. If you've seen my last video where I showed a little bit of the Iron Age village that I was in as a Viking, this is kind of an update on a couple of things that I bought / got that day, and two other things that I got a few days before. So let's start with the jewelry, and then I have a nice big axe we're going to take a look at quickly. So let's take these jewelry things first. Let's take these that I didn't get that day. That's these. These are brass rings. Some of you might know what these are for, but I want to hear what you think, what your first thought on these are, because these are actually not finger rings. These are for something, some VVS stuff. I don't know what you call that in English, but water pipe stuff. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they look like rings, and they fit quite like rings as well, and they look fine for me. So that's actually something I use as jewelry, because something you also did in the Viking Age, they took things they liked the look of and they turned it into some kind of jewelry, not necessarily finger rings or something like that, but something that was looking good. They made it to look like jewelry, and I have an example right here on my hat. Foreign coins. This is not a real coin, it's a copy of something found. They took these foreign coins that they looked like the look of and put one of these things on. I don't know what they're called in English either, but one of these loop things. They made a hole in the coin, put that on, and used it as jewelry for necklaces and to put on hats and stuff. So it's not entirely wrong to take something that looks fine, simple but fine, and a lot cheaper than buying actual rings. I do want to upgrade to bronze and silver rings at some point, but they work, and it worked fine. I also, that was the camera stand. I also bought this, which is a spearhead. I am not entirely sure, but I think it does have something to do with Odin, because he had a spear. But yeah, either way, it's just cool. And I put this leather string on as the necklace itself. I got a new arm ring, which I just fitted for my arm. My arm is not looking good. I have been in touch with some nickel in higher doses, and I can take that. So yeah, and that's gone in a couple of days. Anyway, this is a very simple, and I don't know if it's made out of from a find, a historical find or archaeological find, but it is certainly historically correct that they made stuff like this, and it is bronze with silver plated. I believe it's called. It's at least it's a thin layer of silver over bronze. I believe that is silver plated. So that's cool. And now the big thing. I hope that you can. Maybe I need to raise it just a little bit. Let me just raise the camera just a tiny bit. So, yeah, so you can see all of the other books as well on the top shelf. Actually, for those of you that like history and archaeology, those brown books right there, that is Saxo's Danish history books. Anyway, let's take a look at this. I got me a new axe. A Dane axe, actually. And I made this. I got this from our trainer. He had a piece of woods, and I believe this was ash tree, So that is gonna be lasting for a while, hopefully. And then I have put on the axet. I can't wait to get to use this. And lengthwise, this is actually a little bit too long, and it might vary depending on your depending on if you are Danish, Norwegian, or Swedish, or other Viking areas. But in Denmark, anyway, the typical height of your Dane axe would be about here. So the blade should touch here. So that means my axe here is a little bit too long, but that's okay because it fits me quite well lengthwise. But it is about 5 centimeters too tall, or I am 5 centimeters too short. But yeah, I love this axe. That's gonna be awesome to try and use that. I love the ring, arm ring. I love the necklace, and I do like the look of the brass ring thingies as well. But yeah. So that was a couple of things that I wanted to show you. If you haven't seen the video I made on the Viking Age village, where I did show the longhouse and stuff like that, as well as I could because there's no light. If you haven't checked that out, go and do that because that is quite interesting. If you like stuff like that, I think it's interesting. But spoiler, there is a couple of non-historical things in that video because it was out of their opening time. We just, our group just had the place to have a little fighting feast, maybe you would call it that. We got some good food to eat, and we pretty much just fought most of the day, trained some fighting. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, if you haven't seen it and you find that interesting, go and look at it, because it's good, I think. It's interesting. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video as well. Thanks for watching, and keep having some bleeping fun.